Good morning, everyone. So, in today's class, we are going to see about inheritance in Python. So, what is the concept of inheritance in Python that we will see in today's class? So, creating a new class from an existing class is called as an inheritance. Assume you are having two classes A and B. A is a parent class, and you are having one more class called B, so that is a child of this parent class A. So what does it means is the class B, that is the child class B, can inherit all the methods and all the data that are used in the parent class A. So it can inherit all the properties of parent class. So this is called as inheritance. So in order to avoid the usage of, that is the code reusability is the main concept of this inheritance. So in order to implement this inheritance, you need to have more than one classes. So you will be having a base class and a new class. The base class will be an existing class, and the new class can also be called as a derived class or the subclasses. These derived classes are created by inheriting the data and methods of the base class or the existing class, and along with that the subclasses or the derived class can have its own functionality and own data also. It can inherit the properties of the parent class, and also it can have its own unique functions also, but the base class will remains unchanged. You can't change the base class functionalities, but you can just make use of the base classes. So this is the introduction about the inheritance. So in this diagram you can see that this diagram represent relationship between the classes. The person is a doctor and also the person is a patient. So person is a base class. This doctor and patient are the derived classes derived from the base class person. Similarly, a doctor can is a dentist, and the doctor is also a surgeon. So dentist and surgeon are the derived classes of the parent class or the base class doctor. So the generalized class, from the generalized class you will be having a top down approach, and you will inherit the characteristics of the base class into the inherited derived class. So that is a specialized class. So this inheritance is used to implement is a relationship, that is person is a doctor, doctor is a dentist. Therefore you can call this as a is a relationship. And this inheritance follows a top down approach in order to solve the problems. Like from the person you are having the next level doctor and patient, from the doctor you are having the next approach next level dentist and surgeon. So in this top down approach, the generalized classes are designed first, that is the person is designed first, and then the specialized classes like doctor, patient, dentist and surgeons are derived from the base class person, and it can have its own generalized or own unique functions also. So this is the introduction about the inheritance. So what is the benefits of inheritance? As I said earlier, the code reusability. You can reuse the same functions and properties that are defined in the parent class instead of writing the code again in the child class. So that is in the base class, whatever you have implemented, that can be easily inherited and reused in the derived classes. If a child class inherits property from a parent class, then all the subclasses of the child class will also inherit the properties of the parent class. That is, for example, from the previous diagram we have seen person is a doctor and doctor is a dentist. So doctor can inherit all the properties of a person. Similarly, dentist can also inherit the properties of doctor and also the properties of person. So even the subclasses of a subclass can inherit the base class. So these are all the benefit. And how to inherit classes in Python. This is the syntax. Class followed by the derived class name, and then in bracket you have to specify the base class colon, whatever you want to include within the derived class you can include there. So you are having four different types of inheritance in Python. Single inheritance, it is the simplest one. From the base class you will be inheriting this derived class. Second one is multiple inheritance, that is more than one classes will be inheriting from the single inheritance. Multi-level, level by level you will be inheriting, and multi-path, through different paths you will be inheriting. So we will see about the multiple inheritance. Since single inheritance is the simplest one, you can that is from base 1 you are having one derived class, that is what is called as single inheritance. So in the multiple inheritance you will be inheriting the features derived class. The derived class will be inheriting the features from more than one base class, that is from multiple base classes you will, the derived class will be inheriting its property. This is what is called as multiple inheritance. For example, you can see the general syntax in the left side. Class name is base1 and it is having its block of code, and the second class is base2, that is also having it block of codes, and the third class name is derived. It is derived from the both the classes base1 and base2. So you can call this as a multiple inheritance. It can inherit the properties of both the base 1 class and also from the class base 2. Now since it is inheriting the properties from more than one classes, you can call this as a multiple inheritance. If derived class is inheriting only from base 1 alone, means you can call that as a single inheritance. So the third type of inheritance is multi-level inheritance. So in the right side diagram you can see you are having one base class. From the base class you are inheriting the properties into derived class 1, and from the derived class 1 you are inheriting the properties into derived class 2. That is, derived class 2 can access the properties of functionalities and methods of class 1 and also base class, whereas derived class 1 can use the information from base class, that is it can inherit the properties from base class. So the syntax: class, base class, then you are having a pass statement. The pass statement is just used to pass the code for so far, and it will go to the next statement. Class derived one, there also you are having pass statement, and finally the class derived two, that is derived one within bracket you are having base. Therefore so far now derived one is inheriting its properties from base 1. This is single inheritance. And in the next derived 2 class you are inheriting from the derived 1 class. So that is level by level inheritance. So derived 1 is inheriting from base, and derived 2 is inheriting from derived 1. So this is what level by level. Base class is at level 1, derived 1 at level 2, and derived 2 is at the level 3. So base at level 1, derived class 1 at level 2, and derived class 2 as level 3. Level by level inheritance is called as the multiple level or multi-level inheritance. Derived class from an already derived class. So this is multi-level inheritance. And the last type of inheritance is multi-path inheritance. You can see in this diagram you are having a base class. From the base class you are having two derived classes, derived class 1 and derived class 2, and again you are having one derived class 3, that is inheriting from both derived 1 and derived 2. So this derived class 3 can access base class through class 1, or derived class 3 can access base class through class 2 also. This is called as multi-path inheritance, deriving a class from other derived class that are in turn derived from the same base class. That is, the derived class 3 can access the base class from derived class 1 and also from derived class 2. So you are having multiple path, two paths here. One is through the derived class 1, and another path is through the derived class 2. You can access the base class. So this type of this is called as a multi-path inheritance. So these are all the four types of inheritance you are having. So in this class we have seen introduction about the inheritance, what is the usage of inheritance, what is its benefit, and what are all the four different types of inheritance we are having. Thank you, students.